Welcome to Retrologic. I'm Dan Caparello here with John Cummins. And this week we're going to chat about some Pokemon Snap, some Super Smash Bros. 64, some Pie Packer, a new online retro gaming platform. That's interesting. But Retrologic isn't just a podcast. It's also a retro game store. So go visit Retrologic.games and check out our growing inventory of clean, tested, and 100% authentic retro games for yourself. For funsies. Grow that collection a little bit, bruh. John, you have been so busy lately. Please tell me you had a little bit of time to game this week. Just ease my mind.
I had the tiniest bit of time to fire up my new analog Super NT and play a handful of things on it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, it's a fantastic piece of equipment. Glad it came in. I also got my Retro Tink in and played. I hooked up my Super Nintendo to it, so I had a Plok by Plok comparison. You know, fresh from my original hardware through the Retro Tink, and then plugged it into my analog to kind of look and see. And
yeah,
it's pretty comparable. The Retro Tink is a pretty amazing piece of equipment as well.
Oh yeah. What are any differences, if all, that you notice about the two feeds?
To me, the analog is a little bit sharper, image quality wise. I didn't really notice as much latency as I thought I would, even with the Bluetooth controller that I'm using on the analog. Of course, I was also using it on my Super Nintendo on my original hardware as well. Everything seems to...
So you weren't like original controller in on either of them. It was all wireless.
No, I have a 8-bit adapter and SN30 pad, like the original SN30 that I've had forever.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, no, they both work great. I plan to use the Retro Tink more for probably my GameCube stuff and N64, but since I bought the analog for Super Nintendo, it's got all my needs covered and looks fantastic.
Awesome. Yeah, the S video really makes a huge difference with my, at least that I've seen with the Retro Tink versus the like RCA AV. But I was interested to see like what the comparison would be between those two, because Super NT is a very nice and pretty expensive piece of equipment.
Yeah.
But it is very cool.
You know,
So what else did you buy this week?
I was gonna say, if you think about it, like if you buy the Retro Tink, the Pro 2X like you bought, that's $130, isn't it? So by the time you buy that, you're only about $60 less than an analog Super NT.
Totally.
$189. So to me, it's a really the analog's a very great deal for what you get, especially if you don't already have the original equipment. Like, I would almost recommend it to Bruce, who's on the hunt for a Super Nintendo, to just go ahead and buy an analog, because it's going to be fantastic. And it's going to work with this HD TV, but they also have to be available, which is another issue with, or mainly the only issue with analog is supply. They put out fantastic products. You just never know when you're going to be able to buy them.
It's such a trade-off because with the Retro Tink, it's not just Super Nintendo. I can use it with pretty much any RCA based or composite component S-video based retro console. But on the other hand, I have to maintain that hardware, all the hardware. With the Super NT, it's like, well, this could replace my Super Nintendo when my Super Nintendo eventually dies, because it's 30 years old now or whatever. So like the trade-off is certainly there. I needed the Retro Tink to stream all the like retro stuff that I do. But I totally get the value in what you're getting with the Super NT.
It also gives you the ability to play Super Famicom, which I did not have until then. So, gain a little bit there too.
That's great. Time to start a whole new collection.
Yeah, I don't have the room for it right now.
Speaking of collection, what did you add to the collection this week, John?
Let's see. I kept it a little bit shorter this week. I picked up a copy of Tecmo Bowl for a few bucks. It's one I didn't have. Finally got a copy of ARMS. Sam will be proud.
Oh, yeah. I think you mentioned that one last week. Did you get to play it at all?
Did I mention it last week or did I talk about it on Discord? I can't remember.
Might have been Discord.
Anyway, I haven't got to fire it up yet. I just came in today. So I haven't had a chance to really mess around with it. But I definitely added it to the collection. I think like the only first party Nintendo game from the first year of the Switch that I don't have now is 1-2 Switch. Oddly enough.
I mean, that's got to be cheap now,
It holds
right?
its value. It's still like $40. 40, 50 bucks.
First party Nintendo games sometimes. It's like that game needs to be $10 or free with the Switch. Like, come on.
Yeah, for sure. And then last but not least, I picked up a copy of Four Swords Adventures for the GameCube, which is the last Zelda game that I needed for my North American collection.
Yes! That must feel so good.
North American Nintendo collection. I have to put that in there too because I don't own any of the Philips CDI games or any of that stuff. So
no, and you're not going to.
Nobody needs to. Those games need to go away.
Yeah. They never existed.
And
well, that's cool, man. Congrats on that. Are you going to make like a Zelda shelf or something?
yeah, I mean, I'll probably put all the pieces together and do like a little photo shoot with them all.
Oh, yeah. You got to.
Once I get them all in hand. Still waiting on that one to come in. But yeah, look forward to seeing some pictures of all of it in Discord. I'm sure I'll have some up soon.
Sweet.
And as far as what I've been playing, as I mentioned, I was kind of testing out the analog Super NT, and I decided to play some Game Boy games on my Super Game Boy. So I listened to an episode of Retronauts where they were talking about Wario Land, and it made me want to dig out my Wario Land games. I have Wario Land 1 and 2 on the original Game Boy. 3 I'll have to play somewhere else because it's Game Boy Color. I don't know, for some reason I have the original Game Boy version of Wario Land 2 because you could also get it in Game Boy Color. But anyway, so I played Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3 on the Super NT, and it is awesome. Like, it's Super Game Boy is probably my favorite way to play Game Boy games.
How does that translate to like the HD screen? Is it all really sharp?
Yeah, it's still super sharp. It treats it just like it's a Super Nintendo cartridge.
Sweet.
Yep.
That's great.
And you just get the better color because it's through the Game Boy Color or the Game Boy Super Game Boy. It adds color effects to even the old black and white.
Yep. Oh, love it. Yeah. Totally.
So I played that, and I did find a little bit of time. I can't even remember what day it was now, but I popped in and played 2 or 3 of the tutorial missions on Monster Hunter. I still am not to the point where I can play with other people yet, but I'm getting closer. 20 minutes at a time.
Oh, man. I'm kind of done with Monster Hunter. And not because I don't like it. It just kind of... other stuff started to creep in, which I'll talk about in a minute. But that might be what I'm selling. I don't know if I care enough to.
The thing that's going to end up killing it for me is the other Monster Hunter game is, right on its heels. So, like, we have like another month, I think, and we get Monster Hunter Stories 2, which is the one I was probably more interested in. This Monster Hunter Rise is the one that I was kind of on the fence about, but I really wanted to give it a shot because I haven't really gotten into Monster Hunter all that much, and it's supposed to be one of the better ones to hop into as a beginner. So I went ahead and jumped on it, and like most games, I have 0 time to play them at the moment, so it's a victim of no time.
I feel that.
But yeah, would you excuse me, what'd you pick up and play?
Yeah, I actually didn't pick anything up new this week. So I got a few deliveries, but I kind of already talked about everything there. I am really excited about my Xbox 360 collection now. Definitely got to try to find some time to dig into those. The highlights there are Blue Dragon, Mass Effect Trilogy, Resident Evil's. It's the weird one. Operation
Raccoon.
something. Hang on. Yeah, Raccoon City, city
I
or
think so.
whatever. That one's really cool. And then that Bladestorm game I got recently. So that collection's pretty strong now, and those games are so
They're
cheap, man.
super
Like,
cheap.
man, Xbox 360, just nobody wants that crap. So
mean-
if there's a game on that system that you want to play, like go get it.
I think
It's
Blue
dirt cheap
Dragon,
right now, and they're not going to stay cheap.
Blue Dragon's the one that is cheap, or is the one out of that group that you got that was the pricey part of that collection. It's like a $20, $30 game.
I did because I only paid $60 for the whole lot of games that I got.
Yeah, that's like half the value.
And I did a little like lot. Yeah, I did like a lot calculator for everything, and it was about half. Like it's like $120, $140 worth of games. But a weird thing is so a weird thing is that Need for Speed Most Wanted, which was in that lot, is like a $25 to $40 game.
Really?
For some reason. Yeah, I have no idea why. It is so weird to me. But yeah, that's that. I'm trying to let me just look at it real quick, and I'll see what else I can mention that in that lot that's really good.
You get some Halo games in there too, I think.
Oh, Armored Core 5 is the other one in there that's a little more expensive.
There you go.
And actually, the Mass Effect Trilogy is in there, which is pretty expensive. And then there's a Steelbook version. Oh, that was the Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City, whatever it's called. And some of these games I've never played, but they just are. It's a whole generation that I kind of skipped the entire Xbox 360 because I had a PS3. But PS3 games are more expensive, so I'm like, I'm just gonna
You picked the
load
right
up on
generation.
360 games while they're cheap. Yeah. So that's cool. I'm happy about that. And then as far as what I played, I streamed last week on my I had a birthday stream, and I did some Rocket Robot on Wheels, which is my first time putting any sort of like actual effort or time into playing this game. Like I tried it out for 5 seconds when I was working at a retro game store back in like 2007 or whatever. But I actually spent about 2 hours in that game. And it is very good. It is like it's your typical Nintendo 64 3D platformer fare, but there's just a lot of things that it does that's very, very unique. Your character has a gravity gun, which I thought was really cool, like little addition. You can pick up pretty much any loose object in the game and move it anywhere else in that world. And there's some puzzles where you have to like stack boxes to get somewhere, or like collect screws and drill them into like a box to make the machine work, stuff like that.
Drive an RC car.
And so like, right, driving an RC car. Yeah. So, and, even the little bit that I played, the verity of tasks that it asked you to do and like platforming sections you had to get through were enjoyable. My favorite being, just in the first world, is you have to design a roller coaster. And that gives you a little menu on how to design the roller coaster. And it's very simplistic. But there's like, there are tokens you have to pick up hovering around the roller coaster area. So you have to design your roller coaster in such a way to get all the tokens in the right order. And it was actually pretty difficult. But then you get to like jump into the car and like ride your roller coaster, which was, just such a cool touch. Like they didn't have to do that, but they did it. And The character is really lovable. Rocket is just a cool little guy. And this was, I think it was Sucker Punch's first game, I want to say, as like a complete studio. I can't think of another game that they did before that, but then they moved on to like PlayStation stuff and did Sly Cooper and Infamous, obviously, and more recently Ghost of Tsushima. But anyway, I've been on the hunt for that game because it's a 3D platform I don't have a lot of time with, and I'm a huge fan of the genre. So glad that I finally got some time with it. Definitely want to play more of it. Then on my birthday stream, I played Gotcha Force. And if this is your first time listening to this podcast, let me just tell you that I love Gotcha Force. That's all you have to know, is I love this stupid game. Gotcha Force is an arena fighting GameCube game. Go look it up. And I love it. And John and my brother Adam pitched in and got it for me for my birthday because it is a very expensive GameCube game that I was probably never going to buy. And so I've been playing the hell out of it. I have been playing it so much. It has been taking up all my other gaming time. Anytime I'm at home and I can game, like, you know, the Switch I take with me, but I can't play it on the Switch. So anytime I'm at home and I want a game, I play in Gotcha Force. And it has sucked me right back in like it's 2004 or 3 or whatever. Like it's so addicting to get in with your little team of toys and do a round and get some collectibles and do it. And then it has that one more round factor where you're like, oh, let me just do one more battle and maybe I'll get something cool, or maybe I'll just do one or two more and then I'll get something cool, and then you get something cool and you're like, oh, that felt so good, I'm gonna do one more, and then it never ends. The cycle never ends. I streamed some tonight too, and that was a mistake because I went a little bit late and I was like, okay, well, I gotta get off. I gotta do a podcast. Oh, but man, my hands hurt after playing it, and it's just such a fun game. Yeah, I am over the moon being able to play it again. So thank you, John.
Yeah.
Yeah. I stream every Monday if y'all want to come watch me play some Gotcha Force or whatever. And then the other game that I streamed tonight was Pokemon Snap, because new Pokemon Snap is coming out on Friday, and I'm way too hyped for that game, so I wanted to put some time into Pokemon Snap. I streamed Pokemon Snap for an hour or so, and I unlocked 6 of the 7 or 8 areas in that game. And part of it is just that I kind of know that game by the back of my hand, so I know exactly what to do to get good shots, how to unlock the next areas, all that stuff. And since it was a short stream, I didn't go back and like redo all the areas that I've been through. I just pushed through. To the next area to like make it a more diverse stream. And I was kind of surprised at how fast that game just gets burnt through. Like,
oh yeah,
if
you know what you're doing.
And I mean, there's a lot of repetition, and if you know what you're doing, especially. But if there's still a lot of repetition, which I don't necessarily mind, because the new items that you get sort of break up the repetition a bit. Like you're trying new stuff out every time you go through the same area. But man, I love that game, and I'm so hyped for the new one. And that's all I have to say about it. It is an incredibly good representation of Pokemon as characters, which you don't get to see a lot of outside of the anime, because having to animate 800 of them is just so resource heavy that they just don't do it in the RPGs. They kind of pick their animations and stick to it. So yeah, that is my thing. And now we are going to do some Prices Retro. You ready, John?
Oh yeah.
All right, so this is your first time playing. Let me tell you how this goes. I'm going to list off a couple games, 3 or 4 games, and you are going to guess, and John is going to guess, how much the entire lot of those games is worth. And then John's gonna list a list of games, and I'm gonna guess how much they're worth. And whoever is closest to guessing the actual price of the list wins. Wins everything. Wins the internet. Wins the universe. Just wins in general. Is a winner. So I have 3 community lists this week. Y'all are on it with the community submitted lists, and I love it so much I can't help but do all of them. But we're gonna start with John and I. So John, I'm gonna go ahead and go first because I think you went first last time.
That's fine.
And I have to make just like a quick adjustment here because I messed up. Okay, cool. So I only have 3 games for you. First game is Dragon Spirit for the TurboGrafx 16, complete in box.
Ah, jeez.
Lost Vikings 2 for the Super Nintendo, loose cartridge. And Mega Man Soccer for the Super Nintendo, also loose cartridge.
Yeah. And a TurboGrafx game. Let's see.
Yep. I'm starting to get into that, so get ready.
Let's I don't know. Let's do 350.
350. All right, actual retail value is $170.
Oh, jeez.
170. Sorry. I picked some like rando games because I was like, I need to win a round now, John. Dragon Spirit for the TurboGrafx complete, only $43. Not super pricey.
Wow. Yeah, I was expecting like
but
200.
those TurboGrafx games, yeah, you're not wrong. Those TurboGrafx games get up there. I actually own this game. This is one of my 2 TurboGrafx 16 games. Lost Vikings 2 is a measly $66. And Mega Man Soccer is also a measly $61. So, total being 170. Yeah. Sorry, you were about double.
Yeah. I was more than double.
That Dragon Spirit threw you off.
It did. All right. Well,
okay, go ahead.
Go through my list. So today's list is football, and we are going Tecmo Bowl for the Game Boy complete.
God, y'all do those complete in box games.
These are all complete this time.
Really?
Just because if I didn't, these games would be like $5 and you would know it.
Right.
Tecmo Bowl NES complete.
So Game Boy complete, NES
yes,
complete.
Tecmo Super Bowl NES complete.
Oh my gosh.
And then Tecmo Super Bowl 2 Special Edition for the SNES complete.
Tecmo Super Bowl 2?
Yep.
I literally, this is the first time I have ever heard that the name of this game.
I think I didn't have it, but I had a friend that had Tecmo Super Bowl 2.
And it's complete in box?
Complete.
I mean, I don't even know. $550.
All right. The total for my lot is $205.
Good Lord.
I just told you all these games are going to be $5 if they're loose. And you went crazy.
Well, I know, but that's like... Tecmo Bowl, though, is like a popular sports game, I thought. Is it not? I thought it was.
Though. So,
jeez.
Tecmo Bowl for the Game Boy is only $25.
Ugh.
Tecmo Bowl for the NES, also $25. Tecmo Super Bowl for the NES complete is $45. The Super Nintendo version is even cheaper of that one. Obviously, because it was the end of the life cycle on that one.
Right.
And then last but not least, Tecmo Super Bowl 2, the special edition for the Super Nintendo complete, $110.
I can't believe I messed up my own lead that much. Ridiculous.
Hey, we still got 3 lists to go through. You can still redeem yourself.
I know. Okay, so our first list comes to us from our good friend Mechadragon. Mechadragon is he's a cool guy. I like him. He is active in the community, great on Twitter. Go follow him. Okay, so here is his list. We've got Pokemon trading card. Let me move my calculator over here so I can add up my my lots here. Pokemon trading card game for the Game Boy loose, Game Boy Color loose. Mega Man Battle Network 3 blue for the Game Boy Advance loose. Actually, let's go. I'm gonna guess lower on that one. Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories for the PS1 complete.
Ugh.
That one I don't know. PS1 games sometimes are weird. SteamWorld Heist, Hand of Gilgamesh, PAL version, Nintendo Switch, new. I'm guessing he is pulling some kind of shenanigans.
Well, the
here,
PAL version was the only physical version of that game.
Yeah, so
that makes sense.
Then maybe, I guess. Okay, we'll go there. And then number 5 is Slay the Spire on Switch in North America, new. I don't know why that would be. Okay. So my total is $230.
Yeah, I was gonna say 175.
All right, and then hold on, let me get back to.
What was yours again?
Mine was 230.
230. That's what I thought. Okay.
Okay. Actual total is 161.75. John, dang.
And sold round up to
Pokemon trading
2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pokemon trading card game is a $25 game. Mega Man Battle Network 3 blue for the Game Boy Advance is $30. Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories PS1 complete is $26. SteamWorld Quest Hand of Gilgamesh for Switch PAL version new price is $59, and Slay the Spire Switch brand new $20.
Yep, I had all those except for Yu-Gi-Oh!
I am out of it.
Oh, I was only
man. I was really good at it.
Those Yu-Gi-Oh! Ones are tough.
I wasn't.
Like, I sold a Yu-Gi-Oh! Game
PS1
on
too.
Well, I sold a PSP Yu-Gi-Oh! Game that was just the disc in the case for like $50. It's like, there are no PSP games worth $50. I'll tell you, just that one Yu-Gi-Oh! One.
Just that one. Oh, thank you, Mechadragon, for your list. He said, as usual, there's a theme here, even though it's pretty obvious.
Card games. Card battlers.
Oh, they're card-based games. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. All right, our next community list, we have LDP. LDP in the house giving us a list. Here we go. Okay, so we've got Dino Crisis for the Dreamcast, complete in box. Star Fox Adventures Player's Choice for the Nintendo GameCube, complete in box. Lost World Jurassic Park for the Sega Saturn, complete in box. Add a couple zeros to that guess. Turok 3 Shadow of Oblivion for the Nintendo 64, complete in box. Dang. All right, you go first this time.
So, hold on, go through that one more time, just quick, like rapid fire it.
Dino Crisis for the Dreamcast, complete.
Okay.
Star Fox Adventures, Player's Choice for the GameCube, complete. Lost World Jurassic Park for Saturn, complete. Turok 3 and 64, complete.
I'm going to say 220.
All right, my guess was 280. Actual price. John, are you cheating somehow?
Yeah, I'm cheating. I've got the list that were DM'd to you. No, I don't. How much was it again? The total on that one?
219. You jerk.
Boy, I couldn't have got that one any closer.
I don't know how. I don't know where he's getting this.
I will say.
Okay, hold on. I feel like
I know where you went off on. Yours was the Jurassic Park Sega CD game. That game's only worth like $20. Because I've seen one at a flea market, and I was like, I thought it was a great deal. I was like, $20? There's no way. And then I look it up, and it's only like $20 ish.
Why is that the one Sega Saturn game?
Sega Saturn, sorry, not Sega CD.
That's worthless. Yeah. Nobody wants this game. It's worth less than some sports games.
Oh man, well you got to buy Daytona 500. It's $100 at GameStop right now. It's the only one they got. All
right. Well now, yeah, right. Well now I have some research to do on that dumb game. Okay, so Dino Crisis for Dreamcast complete is 87. Star Fox is 30. Lost World is 24, as you said, and Turok 3 is 78.
Yeah, I got a little lucky on that one. I got Turok and Dino Crisis swapped.
You better mess up big on this last one. Jeez. All right, so our final community, Eldepee, thank you for that list. You are a jerk. And Flightsy, Flightsy with the final list. We have game number 1 is Pikmin 2 for the GameCube, complete. Pikmin 2 Player's Choice for the GameCube, complete. And Pikmin 2 Selects, Nintendo Selects for the Wii, complete. Wow. I think I'm pretty good on this one because this is one of my favorite game franchises. So my guess is 260.
I was going to say 280.
Okay. So total is 228.55. We've got the original Pikmin 2 is 90, Player's Choice version is 70, and the Nintendo Selects for the Wii version is 68, which I actually went low on.
Yeah, I was gonna say
for a total of 228. I won that one.
You did.
I did. Did it make up for my incredible gap in the list?
No, you were still. I mean, you only caught up by $20 on that one.
Yes.
So
yes, I am.
Our total. Well, in those, man, that I want Pikmin 2. I don't have it. It's like one of the ones I've been missing. I might buy a copy of that here soon.
It's a good one. It's really good.
But man, it's hard to find one of those for less than $100 here lately. Like you never see them for.
Yeah. All the GameCube games, all the great GameCube games, they are starting to become just like 80, 90, 100 easy. The
Wii one's even outrageous. And I just want the GameCube one.
Yeah.
But anyway, this week your total out of the 4 lots you guessed on is 505 difference. And the difference for the 4 lots that I guessed on is 245. So I halved your amount this time, which I think that puts me up by a game. Yep. Get the streamers ready. Woo.
Oh man. Yeah. Okay. All right. I got some work to do, guys. Got to make a comeback. Yeesh. Well,
I just knew a lot of the games on those lists.
I know.
Week. This was like my week.
It was a lucky week for you. I was lost most of the time, except for a few of them. But I mean, geez. Well, thank you guys for sending in your list, and thank you for listening to that fun game. If you got a really good score, I'd love to hear about it. Hit me up on Twitter at Retrologic.games. Or if you want to send in a list, DM me on Twitter or on Discord or on Instagram. I'm on Instagram now, John. Did you know that?
I did not. I'll have to... Well, I don't have Instagram, so I don't have a way to follow you.
Oh. Well, you know what? Just the knowing that you know that I'm on Instagram, it really just warms my heart.
I know that I would follow you if I was there.
Yes, I feel the would, the would,
Yes.
could, and should. Anyway, you can DM me at any of those places and say, hey, I have a list. I want to send it to you, and I will give you instructions on how to do that, because we got to keep everything hidden
Hush.
until we are ready to do our podcast. So do that and have a great day. Next up, we are going to talk about our community crossplay game, Plok. We are going to have our live community Plok talk on April 29th at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. There is a link in the Discord in the community news channel to register for that. If you want to be part of that live podcast recording, I'm happy to have you if you're playing Plok with us. And I'll just leave it at that, because this game is really hard, and well, I just can't wait to hear how everybody did, because yow.
Come and talk Plok.
Yowza. Yeah. And then at the end of April, after that, next week, we are going to choose some new crossplay games for John and I to play. I am actually out of town next week, but I think I will still be able to do the podcast, but I'll keep you updated on the Twitters and on the Discords, so I will let you know all that. Next up, we have an anniversary today, John. We have an anniversary, a very important anniversary. 22 years ago today, April 26th, 1999, Super Smash Brothers for the Nintendo 64 landed in the United States. It's a heavy anniversary, man. This series is incredible and just has been like such a workhorse for Nintendo, you know? What were some of your earliest memories of playing this game as a kid? Did you pick it up right away?
No, I remember seeing the commercials, and I didn't have an N64 when this game came out, I don't think. And my cousin rented the game and had me come over, and we played it. And then shortly after, he bought it, because we rented it, and I don't think we stopped playing it for like the whole weekend. Yeah,
oh, wow.
The original game was, at the time, like, there wasn't anything like it. It was mind-blowing to be fighting other Nintendo characters, you know, fighting as Kirby or Mario. And just the idea of not having a real health bar, and it's more of a gravity-based, you know, smashing other characters around, throwing items, and like, to me, the items make the game. I know a lot of people talk about the competitive side of Smash, and I much prefer the party side of Smash with all the items,
right.
zaniness, and I don't know. There's just something about it. You take the items out, and it just kind of kills the fun of it a little bit for me. But yeah, I was in very early with this game.
I'm kind of with you there, but I mean, I'm not like. It's kind of like if you have put the time and effort into being really good competitively at Smash, I don't want to downplay the amount of effort that takes, because it is really hard. It's a tough game to master.
Yeah, I'm glad both sides exist.
But I'm also really impressed that Nintendo is able to do that, and while doing that, still make it a fun party game for people who just want to screw around. Because like, it is hilarious. I just remember busting my gut, man, playing this game with my friends. Like, we would just lose it over some of the weird stuff that we ended up happening on screen, or like messing with each other. And you're right about items being on. It just kind of adds a level of chaos to the game that's really necessary if you're playing it as a party game.
Oh yeah.
Who did you play mostly as when you first started playing it?
So my main for the original game was Kirby. And then whenever I got to Melee, I think I used Link more than anything, if I remember right. Either Link or Marth. Got into sword characters. And then I skipped Brawl. I didn't play a whole lot of Brawl. I didn't really play a whole lot of Smash for the Wii U either. But so far, playing Smash Ultimate, I mainly play Ganondorf or Chrom.
And Ganondorf is killer.
Those are my two people that I like to play with. But man, Kirby was unstoppable in the original game.
Oh, totally. Yeah, unfair.
Very much.
And I started out as mostly Donkey Kong and Pikachu in the original. And I still pretty much stick to those two with quite a large swath of outliers in that group as well. Just like characters that I like to play as that I'm not super good with, but they're just fun anyway. But yeah, pretty much sticking to those two for the most part on 64. And man, I just remember it was such a like revolution, that game. Like it really just took over any party any friends gathering, any party I had, anything going on at the house, we were playing Smash Brothers. And I remember having to buy like 2 more controllers because I only had 2 controllers up to that point. It was just me and my brother. And then like friends would come over and it'd be like, oh man, we don't have enough controllers. Like bring your controller or whatever. And so I ended up buying 2 more controllers with this game with like my like, like my, how old was I? Like 13, my 13-year-old self, like breaking the bank, trying to buy N64 controllers.
N64 controllers were expensive.
They're big. They were honkers. And so I
want to say a brand new one was like $40.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think PlayStation at the time, it was like maybe 20.
Oh, yeah.
For a new controller. Yeah.
Didn't have that extra handle, man.
Yeah. Well, or that analog stick, you know?
Yeah. The newer ones did.
That's true. The thing about when Smash Brothers was first like coming out and announced was that like we were all so confused that Nintendo would take their beloved like family friendly characters and like pit them against each other and make them fight. We were like, this is amazing. Like we were, because you get into those arguments as a kid, like, hey, who would win in a fight, like Darth Vader or Superman or Mario or Sonic, or you know what I mean? And there was never really a great way to like play those things out. But Smash Brothers really kind of gave you an opportunity to say, and it didn't have as many characters as like Melee or even like Ultimate now, but it still was very much like, I do want to see if Mario could kick Pikachu's butt. Like I want to see that.
Oh yeah, and that's how I learned about Earthbound. I mean, you unlock Ness,
and then later in Melee, that's how I learned about Fire Emblem.
Exactly. Yeah, those games were pretty non-existent Earthbound existed in the U.S., but not to the extent that it did in Japan.
No, definitely not. So we had some community members pitch in with some of their thoughts on the game and the history and their memories of it. And then, so I'll read off some of those. We've got Third Strongest Mole, Sam in the Discord, talking about that TV commercial that we all remember. Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. And they're just like jumping along in a field and then they trip over each other and start beating each other up in the costumes. Genius commercial. Like totally like embodied what we were all thinking. Like, wait, why are Nintendo characters fighting? And I mean, they nailed it. I'll never forget that ad.
Nope.
As long as I live. And then he also says, I remember with Smash 64, my brothers and I immediately agreed to pool our allowance to buy it as soon as it came out. Yeah, I don't know if I bought it at launch or soon after, but it was pretty close for me. We have Andros, our buddy over from the Nintendo Pals podcast, talking about my favorite Smash Bros. Memory was in a match with my pal Micah in Brawl. He ran and tripped right as a bob bomb exploded. He screamed louder than I've ever heard anyone scream in my life. It was hilarious. I don't even think the explosion hit him. He said. And that's what I'm talking about. Just the amount of random, hilarious things that can happen in that game. With the items and all the powers and everything. It's incredible. It really is just like its own little like ecosystem of craziness. I've got a great story here from Mechadragon 101 in the Discord. He says, as much hate as Brawl gets, it did help connect tons of my friends in high school, especially with my close high school friends. We used to play Brawl at long nights on Fridays after class. Actually, I remember inviting my old high school friends to come to GameStop with me to buy the game with me. That's the biggest one I can think of. My history with Smash honestly started with Brawl since I didn't have a Nintendo console to play the original or Melee. Also, by the way, if you're going to talk about Smash tonight, tell people to get Rivals of Aether. It's basically indie retro Smash, and it's kind of cool. So that's a nice little plug for an indie game. I guess it's on Switch.
Yes.
So cool. He said one more thing. I was at the Nintendo New York store when the first trailer for Smash Bros. For Switch came to the Direct, and yes, the crowd was just as explosive as it is in the videos. That's really cool, Mechadragon. He lives in New York, so he was able to be there during that Direct, which I vividly remember watching the Direct for Ultimate and being super hype with that Splatoon tease that they gave us.
Yep.
And finally, we have Spider Shan with talking about, I've got Smash 64 in college, and my roommate and my friends from high school, he went to a local college. They played the heck out of it. And after Mario Kart, it was probably our most played multiplayer game. I've never been all that great at Smash, but I still buy every iteration of the game, and I always maintained Link, but have started playing more Simon Belmont and Dragon Quest Hero in Ultimate. Yeah, that's awesome. Smash 64 had me hooked from the get. I've bought every iteration. I think I even still own every iteration. I know I do. And yeah, I mean, it's just kind of something, it's an institution. It's just, you have to get it. It sells consoles. It's literally single-handedly sells Nintendo consoles. I know people who only bought a Wii U for Smash 4. And like, you got the adapter and the GameCube controllers, and you were there, and that's all you needed.
That's another thing.
That was our
the GameCube controller following Smash through the generations.
Still, I mean, you could use it on the Wii, you could use it on the Wii U, you can use the adapter on your Switch to play it in Ultimate. It has become the quintessential Smash Brothers controller, and it's kind of funny. I didn't do that. I used a Wii remote and nunchuck and remapped the buttons to make it work for me, because I wasn't about to go spend a bunch of money on buying GameCube controllers at the time. So I just did what I could do. But dude, I love Smash 64. My brother and I we got to do our multiplayer stream soon. We got to do it at some point, because I have a ton of multiplayer games that I want to stream that are retro that I just can't, I can't do them justice without another person here. So that's got to be one of them. So we are going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we've got a little bit of news to talk about. Then we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. So stay tuned. We will be right back. Thanks for sticking with us. We have 3 very interesting pieces of news to talk about. First, I just want to mention the first one, which is that Nintendo Switch Online members can save 30% on wireless NES controllers right now. They are really, really great. They feel just like the originals. They're normally $60 down to $41 for a pair. It comes with 2 controllers. And these are the silly ones that charge by plugging into the Joy-Con slots on the side of your console. And it looks very silly. But they are great controllers. They feel great. They're rechargeable. I recommend picking them up, if you have a Switch Online subscription.
Hopefully
they can also be used outside of the app. I mean,
oh yeah. Hopefully they're clearing these out to make room for the N64 controllers. They're gonna put in the old warehouse here soon.
Don't get my hopes up, man. Don't do it.
That's why they got to sell 3 of them, because it takes 3 of those boxes to put an N64 controller in it.
Wow. Yeah, you're probably right. But as I was saying, they're great controllers to own, even if you're just playing like the Mega Man collection or Castlevania collection, Contra collection. It works with all of them. It's fantastic. So I recommend it. Can't beat the price. Our next piece of news is a new Kickstarter campaign for an app called Pie Packer. And it is touting itself as an online retro gaming platform. And it was just recently fully funded, so it's coming out. The service aims to provide legal, licensed retro games, as well as the ability to load your own ROMs, emulate the games across the internet in a Chrome or Edge browser. Other features allow audio and video chat while the game is being played, and a hardware add-on for using your own cartridges. So there's a lot going into this. Online features for cartridges you own, that is very interesting to me.
Who's
I want to know what their infrastructure is like.
Yeah, who's letting them bring their licensed games to this service? Do they have a list? I didn't see the backer page yet, so
I haven't dug into it, but I didn't see a list or anything. But the fact that you can load your own ROMs and use their hardware add-on to plug into your computer and play your own cartridges, that's really interesting to me. I guess we'll see. I mean, Kickstarter can go either way. So I'm not going to back it. I'm going to wait and see how it all plays out before I just had to throw some money at it. But it sounds really interesting. It would be really cool to do a 2-player stream of a retro game, me and John, head to head, because we don't live in the same place. But I guess we'll see.
Nice.
The final one we have is the Evercade Versus, a new cartridge-based retro console coming this year from the makers of the portable Evercade console. It looks really cool. It's got this kind of NES ish style where the top comes up and you put the game in. 4 USB ports on the front. The controllers look really cool. They look kind of like NES style controllers.
Pop the lid and put your Game Gear game in there.
Yeah, it looks like that's what it looks like. And it will play the portable system games too, so that's really cool. And pretty good specs. So that is a neat thing. You can go check that out. Pre-orders are not up yet. They open on May 28th.
Yeah,
and it will be $100 to grab this thing. So not too expensive. If you already have Evercade games, it's kind of a no-brainer. So yeah, that's that. Pretty cool. Nice. That is it for our news, and that's mostly it for the podcast. Remember, this Friday, new Pokemon Snap. If you're a Pokemon fan at all, you got to pick this up. It's one of my favorite Pokemon games of all time. The series is, at least. And then if you are playing Joe and Mac 2 for our Retro Rewind game, stay tuned for our May community discussion, live community discussion event, where we're going to record our community chatting about that game on Nintendo Switch Online. So make sure you're playing, having a great time. I really like this game. As I said last week, I'm having a great time with it. So I can't wait to see what the community thinks after Plok takes over this Thursday. So that is all I have. John, do you have anything else?
No, but I've seen earlier today where Flightsy was talking about how Plok had taken over the Retro Rewind channel from Joe and Mac.
Yeah, he kind of did. He really did. I mean, he kind of takes over wherever he goes.
So I said, Plok has a strong presence. It's hard to keep him out.
He does. He's the meme king of our Discord.
Yep.
So, he does that. Hopefully it'll die down a little bit after the live discussion this week, but I guess we'll see. Great. Well, thanks for listening to the Retrologic podcast. We are proudly part of the Nintendo Dads family of podcasts. If you like what you hear, check me out on Twitter at Retrologic.games, also on Instagram, same name. You're also welcome to jump into our friendly and 100% non-toxic Discord community. Whether you're just a gamer and you like old games, or you're a collector and you own 777 games, you can... That's an inside joke because John just hit that number with his collection.
I didn't
right?
stay there very long. I found an extra game and then I bought a few today. So
okay. Well, you don't have time to play them, but you got enough money to keep throwing them in there. Someday you'll have time.
If I could only buy time.
Anyway, we're not all crazy, insane collectors in the Discord. Sometimes it's just gamers who love talking about old games or reminiscing, or we like to share pictures of the games we buy, pictures of games we love. We love just talking about memories too. So please jump in, come hang out with us. We're all super friendly. We keep it safe and non-toxic and positive in there. And we would love for you to come check it out. You can find the link to that Discord in my Twitter bio. And you can find everything Retrologic related, podcast, the store, the Discord, the Instagram, the Twitter, links to everything at the website Retrologic.games. So with that, thank you for listening, and we will see y'all next week.
Bye now.